Well, hello, it's Robert Heffernan with EndoTech, and this is Blockchain Vitals. It's our daily show talking cryptocurrencies. I am a master endotechnician, firmly in the matrix when trading cryptos. Please follow us on Twitter at EndoTech_IO, and you can follow me at 8:30 at HFR from the floor. Love to interact in the Twitter sphere. Interact with lots of people from farmers and hog traders to cryptos and cryptographers and everywhere in between. Let's do the rounds. Doing the rounds, my chance to talk about something I've seen, and there's been some ridiculous news. Not much of it pertaining to crypto on the ridiculous side. But the one that I noticed that I wanted to talk about was this one here from BTC Manager, talking about a free virtual workshop to be hosted by OpenNode and Blockstack. And I wanted to talk about it mostly because if you're watching this on YouTube and you're just have been cruising around and trying to figure out some things on crypto, that's what you do, man. You just spend a little bit of time every day watching and reading and getting yourself acclimated to the space. And then if you're a coder or a developer, you know, there is so much available information on the interweb, right? And I got to tell you something, in blockchain in particular, the wealth of information that people are willing to share with each other to build out this ecosystem is like nothing I've ever seen before in my lifetime. I mean, truly wonderful collaborations going on, people really trying to develop a better future for all of us through the blockchain, and I think that's very interesting. So if you are a coder and a noder, and this free virtual workshop will be hosted by OpenNode and Blockstack, and of course you can find that at BTC Manager, that links to all that information. But very cool and sharing community in blockchain. You know, the other thing that I noticed was a headline, I haven't pulled it up here, it was Terry Duffy, the chairman of the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, talking about why especially governments aren't particularly thrilled with crypto because they can't just print their way through to eternity on the currency side. And he thinks that's a big problem for adoption, that there's no inflation built into the system. And for me, I just think that it's going to be very interesting how this all plays out, right? Just because you don't think that the model is going to work because you can't fudge it and you can't just print your way out of a problem and control the money supply. You know, control sometimes is a mirage, as you see so often in societies. It's a mirage. You have control one day and the next day you have no control. And people are wheeling wheelbarrows full of money because you've lost control. In fact, I love the story about the guy saying, why don't you take the wheelbarrow full of money so you can go shopping? And he said, I'm afraid somebody's going to steal the wheelbarrow. Forget about the money inside. The money's worthless. Anyway, just because, for me it's this, just because the world hasn't seen a system like this before does not mean that it's bound to fail. He was talking also about the adoption of stable coins and working the fiat world into the crypto world. And that's not nearly as interesting for me long term because I don't think it's nearly as disruptive using the same model just in a different venue or with different workarounds. I don't think that's the interesting thing here. And obviously time will tell how the blockchain revolution pans out and how much can truly be disrupted in the fiat and legacy businesses and world of today. Let's check back in 5 years and see if Terry Duffy's right or if something completely unexpected happens, right? Like blockchain and these systems just start displacing older, you know, maybe in 5 or 10 years we're going to think that the way we used to do things was as ridiculous as taking a horse and buggy into town. Although that's not such a bad idea. I like a horse and buggy. Anyway, you know what? Let's take the vitals and talk about price action. Taking the vitals, that's my chance every day to talk about the blockchain vitals sheet. And we have a few technical difficulties with a few of the coins populating on the sheet. And therefore, I'm going to concentrate on the top 4, and I'm going to give the YouTube crowd a free tutorial here on the top 4, like I do every night for EndoTech subscribers exclusively. Anyway, Bitcoin, you know, and then because the 2 coins that I actually wanted to talk about are the ones that are having a little bit of trouble on the sheet populating, I'll talk about both of those and give you the numbers right here live, not in Memorex. All right, Bitcoin right now trading 39.84 at Bitfinex, 39.84, and now for me, it's just not great that we got about the 3rd day in a row now in lower momentum on the on the daily. Still fighting the upward potentiality on the standard deviation modeling in this market. That's the only thing helping this thing here. And my fear is that another down day today is going to put this thing in a little bit more precarious standing here. You know, we can approach that 38 weekly center line level. As long as we're in low momentum on the daily, you got to be careful being long this thing. And then if the bears start to take control here, you know, that 36.53, that weekly lower momentum level is going to be just, you know, it's going to be a real testing ground for the longer term outlook here on Bitcoin, the way I look at the market. All right, so that's what I'm looking at here, and my thoughts are the 2 coins that I'm going to talk about in a little bit. I'm not sure they could withstand a meltdown in the top 4. Ethereum trading 135.37. Again, it also now about 3 days in a row that lower momentum level in Ethereum 136.21, trading 135.37. Now it too also spending several days now in lower momentum on the daily, and 132.05 low, or I mean the weekly center line, 119.84 is that weekly down momentum level in Ethereum. XRP trading 30.49. It's actually in lower momentum on the weekly already. It's in lower momentum on the daily already. And like I said, the monthly chart in XRP, the way I look at it, you know, we're going to roll the month here at the end of the week. And if XRP doesn't start making some moves here, price action-wise, for me, that one looks the sickest, the weakest, and the most susceptible for a major collapse, XRP. Litecoin, on the other hand, still in healthy territory if you're looking at the weekly fractal. That's 55.84 is up mo on the weekly. 59.63 last for Litecoin. But not great action. Not great action. Still holding, though. It's still holding its own on that weekly chart, though. The 2 ones that I really like, though, the 2 best setups, I think, potentiality-wise, are EOS and ADA. And I know ADA's numbers on the sheet are a little suspect. But let's talk about it first, and we'll come back to Litecoin. ADA right now, up mo is at 0.0599, 0.06, let's call it. Right now, ADA trading 0.0610. And it's just got a really nice upward slope, a great trend that this thing has been in since about the 0440 level. And great extension on the weekly, in up momentum on the weekly is ADA. That level's 0520. And it just looks, you know, it's acting the best. It's in the best territory as far as the weekly is concerned. It and BNB also in that same category. Stretching and reaching on both dailies and weeklies. So I really like the setup of this coin. But the caveat here, though, is if the majors melt down, I'm not sure how well any of these things can hold on. And EOS, like we talked about, trading 383. EOS trading 383. And that weekly low or weekly up momentum level in EOS was 365. They dabbled around there they couldn't hold very long, very much price action below that level. Extended off of it now, and now trading healthy here at 383, back in upmo on the daily. Room out to 393 on the daily to the collar, and room out to 477 on the weekly. So a lot of room, and for me, respecting that up momentum level on the weekly is very key for me for EOS. So minus or barring the majors melting down, I really think EOS and ADA both have the best shot of some explosive price action. All right, listen, thank you so much for watching. Please be disciplined and trade disciplined. I will be back tomorrow for another segment of Blockchain Vitals. Until then, thank you so much for watching.